same dump trailers that come down Brookline. So there's a lot of truck traffic, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm hoping you're right, just because of the grandchildren thing. And I have a vested in, my starter homes, you know, when I bought it in 1977 was less money than my car right now. So, you know, I've got a good return coming, but.
I'm saying it better happen, I'm not saying it will happen, but if I didn't support that bylaw,
Sure.
I probably would feel pretty bad.
Okay.
That's how I look at
Oh,
it, because
if it went
for
forward.
me, I needed to do something, because nothing was done,
Sure.
and here we are facing it.
Yep.
So by not doing it, and the land court thing passes, why wouldn't Dave Burton start the project, and then where are we? We're like with nothing. We're like, again, just a small town with nothing.
Sure.
They're gonna roll in and go, they couldn't even pass a stupid bylaw, that might have stopped it.
Yeah.
So, that was my point coming.
But
For the
from a
bylaw.
legal perspective,
Yeah.
you can't spot zone,
Right.
and you
Target
can't,
zoning is
you
the
can't
way
target
it
zone,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can't, this is, you know, as far as we were told, and that's why this committee got together.
It made it broad.
It
It's a
has to
big
be broad.
blanket. Yeah.
So, so what happened, the selectmen didn't decide like we need this. The selectmen, after they brought the citizens petition to them to go, hey, we're gonna sanction a committee for you guys and see what you can come up with.
Yeah.
So that's what we worked on. I agree, commercial, industrial, I just don't want you to be beat up, or you to be beat up. In my case, because of what I do, I'm wicked conscious about not starting a chainsaw. Luckily, my wife mows the lawn at,
Yeah.
you know, in the afternoon,
Right.
so,
Time, you consider it up with the people.
you know, lucky for two things, my wife mows the lawn, and, it's in the afternoon.
Well, I probably have, even though my neighbors call, I probably have faith that it does get back to your neighbors, and they would be considerate and.
Call you up.
So, yeah, so when
Call
we,
you up, walk over.
when we started this whole meeting, that's what I said, I go, look, it's Pepperell.
Right.
I go, if the neighbor's bugging you on something, why don't you go knock on the door first?
Yeah.
Instead of calling the police. And so I spoke to the police, and he pointed out, or the, you know, not the chief, but an officer, and people actually, that's who I talked to, I was at the transfer station, I wanna talk to the people who work, right? Cause they really know what's going on, it's like you at the hospital,
Yeah.
you know, the person in charge may or may not know what's going on. I mean, exactly,
Yeah,
right?
right,
I mean,
yeah.
so,
But the people at the ground level.
well, yeah, I'm a ground level guy, right?
Yeah.
The grunts always know.
You can't get any lower than tree cut hardly,
Right.
and, so the police, the two officers I talked to said, well, you know what happens, I go, do you go to the same, he goes, yeah, we pretty much go to the same people all the time. Okay, I mean,
And the police were in favor of it, the Board of Health was in favor of
Yeah.
the law, all the departments kinda came
Yeah.
together and were in favor of it.
Yeah.
so you followed the crowd.
No, I'm not a crowd
No,
follower,
me
believe
neither, but-
me, I am not
So-
a crowd follower.
So like I say, I was in favor of part of it, so let me give you another example where they cut and paste. And I'm not trying to beat them up, but
No.
we worked hard, we went to a lot of
Yeah.
meetings. And I stopped going to the meetings basically in August because they were all on Tuesdays, so the final package, and you know, this girl said I was a lukewarm supporter, well, at one point, all of our meetings were how to sell it to the people. Well, if you got a good product,
Right.
you don't have to sell it.
Sell itself, yeah.
That Boston coffee cake, I happen to have one, and after I have it, I love those
Yeah,
things.
they're good.
You know,
Yeah.
You know, I could, you know, we try not to have one every week, but,
No, but then you buy
so, Purple did not have a start and stop time, right, for construction? Most towns do, and I deal with that, then sometimes subdivisions have a superseded thing, cause once they sell you the $800,000 house, they want you to be happy. So, I said, well, why don't we have a start, you know, we hashed out the numbers, the start and stop times. That being said, no contractor bids a job and comes into town to see what time you can work to. But I suggested that, why don't we have a little heat index, so for those 5 days of the year, 6, the guy working on the roof, or even what I do, or somebody out in the heat, why don't we let them start earlier? So the comment was, and this is all on tape, the comment was, well, I haven't seen this in somebody else's bylaw. So I said, well, can Purple be a leader and not a follower?
Yeah,
Right?
right, I like that, yeah.
I like
Is that fair?
Yeah.
So a lot of hard work was done, a lot of thinking. I'm for half of it, that's all, not all of it. And plus, I wasn't there for the final 10 weeks or so to put the polish on. So that's, and on the next zoning, our light thing, I wanna make sure nobody gets broadsided here. I am for the light thing for municipality,
Mhm.
for industrial,
Mhm.
and for commercial. I am not for coming to you and telling you I don't like, your light doesn't
Yeah.
follow the spec.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just, and by the way, my
But are you
house,
gonna need another broad
well,
law?
how about we just, so right now there is.
No, how about a more defined law?
Now, we already have one, we have a, where is it, section, page 19 of our building zoning thing now, section 5521.
Okay.
It's all about light trespass, it's about spotlight shining into your house from your neighbor, so it covers, well, a bad light shining down the road so you can see.
Yeah.
So that law is already there, and it worked just recently this summer up on Fox Lane. A new person bought that big apartment building and he
Yeah.
relit it. That light was shining over into Fox Lane and then they went and they shielded it and they changed it. So that system works. So all we have to do is just add to that going, the three pieces I just said, the municipalities, the commercial, industrial have to adhere to dark sky standards, and there are standards, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
That being said, my house is dark sky compliant with the fixtures. And if this is the trend that we're gonna use, the rest of us are gonna slowly grow to, then the market will dictate what light you can buy. So once you go to Home Depot and you cannot buy anything but a dark sky fixture, then the problem is thing. But until then, I'm thinking, you might like your light.
Yeah.
You might have one custom made somewhere.
Yep.
So that's, and maybe I'm sensitive to this because I just had read 1984 with the thought police. So,
George Orwell, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
so I'm going,
So do we even need to have a light part of that?
no, at all.
So
It's
the
kind
But-
way I look at the light in the air, it's kind of, that's like a waste of time for people to get together to discuss light and air, because I'm not saying that
So-
that's.
That's on tape too. So every meeting I go to, I express the opinion I have, and the conversation is, well, we'll have Tim, who's a sharp guy, and he's the expert. We'll have him write something. I'm going, well, we don't need to write anything.
yeah. It's-
I can deal with this in 4 sentences
Yeah.
attached to the current
Mhm.
bylaw.
Yeah, I have a hard time wrapping my head around light and air.
Yeah.
Because are those gonna stop 161
No,
or any
No.
further
No.
project?
and we shouldn't be running our town by ordinances.
No.
We're taking, it's a slippery slope. We're taking our rights away.
Mhm.
So once you start backing up,
If they can tell me it'll stop 161, I may rethink it and
Yeah,
vote,
but
but right now,
they're
I'm
gonna work
having a hard
daylight
time.
hours, so there's gonna be no lights
Yeah.
over there.
And what's the air? What's gonna?
I don't know what the
Well,
air
the
is.
noise bylaw was sold on the one, you can't target, zoning, but that bylaw was sold as stopping 161.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so,
Noise, I could deal with that better, relating it to the trucks or whatever. Noise
Yeah,
makes
that's why
sense to me
that's,
as a way to
that's
stop it.
why
I'm
I
having a
asked.
harder time
That's
seeing
why I
With the
light
asked.
and air.
Well, because
passed
this
because
is
of
the,
that.
and this is where I'm against
Someone's
over.
gonna have to explain it.
I'm
to me.
against over-regulation, and this is
Mm.
over-regulation, and
that didn't
then
do
once you
what it
get
was supposed to.
once you get one regulation, you're gonna get another regulation, and the town is gonna be run by committee.
Yeah.
Um,
It's overregulation that isn't gonna be able to do what it was sold as doing.
Yeah.
right? So
So-
that, what is that called?
So
That's called you voted for the bylaw, and
I
now
did
you're like,
because-
"Oop."
Because I voted for it because that's the way it was promoted.
Yeah,
It's not targeted zoning, but it will stop 161.
and that's what I'm saying.
So
If they
that's
can
why I
prove
voted
to me
yes.
that light and air could have
That's
some
why I voted
effect
yes.
into 161,
Right?
I would vote
Yeah.
for it
Yeah.
again.
um,
That's what I would do.
and everybody wants to stop that,
Mm.
and they're all trying to,
Yeah.
But I'm always into, you better have a backup plan in case things go
Yeah.
poorly.
Is it too late for a backup plan?
Well, I guess so. I mean, it should have been negotiating with the state, so they should have treated it maybe like a landfill. So a lot of landfills, they dig them all up, they line it either with a
Yeah.
member or a clay barrier, and then they fill it, and then they cap it, and it keeps the water from going through supposedly,
Mhm.
and then the leaching issue's done. So, but at this point here,
Let state fall through.
it's a state fall through,
Yeah.
and it's just like the transportation for the school.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you're gonna tell somebody they have to do something, you better fund it completely and continue on with it.
Mhm.
And there again, that's our money. So here's what we gotta think about in town here, I wanna protect our money, this is not the town's money.
Mhm.
And a word we have to change on the, town meeting floor is free cash.
Yeah.
We're gonna take it out of free cash.
Yeah.
No.
Free cash is your
Free cash.
savings
We don't
account.
have much of that
It's like
anyway.
free healthcare, you know, it's the
Yeah,
word today, free, everybody
don't
loves
have
the
it,
word
but-
free.
It's, why don't we call it our savings account?
Right, savings account.
Cause, so your savings account is free money,
Yeah.
right? It's free
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah,
Are you
That
taking it out?
happens to be,
No.
gonna be used for something.
Yeah, so that's just a bad,
Bad word.
yeah, it is.
that's a bad word, right? And it's
Yeah,
just,
it is.
it's a nice selling thing. You know, you
Mhm.
go to the meeting and go, oh,
look,
free
we have
cash.
money, yeah,
It's
we'll
like,
just
I don't know, the
pay
town
for
printed
it.
up some
Yeah.
money, so,
Oh,
so I don't know everything.
No.
You know, Quentin, Chuck from the planning board,
Well, I like the finance guys, I think they
you
do
know,
a
so,
good job.
and on a
The
DPW,
town needs to listen to the finance
Yeah.
committee a little bit more,
when he wrote,
Yeah.
specifically John Laddick.
So-
Yeah.
so when
great.
Quentin said at the town, when we appropriated this, when he was against the budget, I voted no. If
Yeah.
I have a guy doing my job, doing
Right.
a job for us, if you're not gonna listen to him,
Right.
Right,
then why do it?
exactly.
So I got people I can reach out to. So I got Louis Long. He's on a DPW. I see him on jobs. I've done some work with him. A lot of times on a Sunday, we pass each other moving equipment. So I don't feel bad about working when I see Louis. He was
Yeah.
older than me working. And you know, so I know excavation people. Actually, I know. So if the dirt does come, I know some people that are in the trucking business may be able to tell us what to watch for. All right.
Mhm.
And that's where. And I'm a connector. I connect people.
Good.
Right. So give me an example. You had a tree issue.
Mhm.
Somebody reached out to a mutual friend of ours, and I got your phone numbers. I don't know how it all worked out,
Yeah.
but I spent a little time getting these people that were insurance savvy to help, and hopefully it turned out well. But
It did.
So,
Took a while.
my son said, Dad, you don't know, you can't do anything, but you know everybody and can get things,
Yeah.
you know who to
Yeah.
talk to.
Yep, that helps, yeah.
It
And,
does.
and as you
Yeah.
can see how this diarrhea in my mouth has been going, I
No,
can't
that's
tell
good.
you, right?
I like
And
that.
actually, I don't have any more questions.
No, just,
You-
would you say your, last resort is debt exclusions and overrides? You'll do everything, like cuts, layoffs,
Yeah.
before that?
You got it. We can't keep moving, because what happens when you do, the debt exclusions are better, but when you do the override, that adds the new, so it
Mhm.
goes up 2.5% every
Yeah.
year. So say if our taxes were $1,000, so it goes up 2.5% from that.
Yeah.
But since we override it, it's gonna go up $400 from that
Stays.
point. And then
It
that
stays.
just stays, so it just
Stays.
keeps, compounding
Adding on.
interest,
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
like at the bank,
Yep.
right? That's why
So
we're
that's
all,
last resort,
that's a last resort.
okay.
So I'm not big on, an override per se.
Good.
I'm sort of old school, I'm in my starting home, I'm in my dying home, but on the other hand, you shouldn't be spending too much that you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
should
we
be
will
able-
have to
Within your
spend
budget.
something on a safety complex.
You
How do
will,
you feel about that?
we have all these
Yeah, we do have a lot of old buildings.
we have a lot of old buildings,
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
And the market for used bricks are down right now.
oh.
Do you wanna be
Is there
terrible?
a market, isn't there a market for used bricks?
Oh, yeah, you sell everything. But
Okay.
if you tore a building down, if you tore Peter Fitz down, there's a certain scrap value.
Yeah.
But those numbers are down.
Yeah, okay.
So, is that the answer? And there again, the use of the school, they're writing a contract up. On that, on school, I like to see it self-sufficient. I don't care if we make any money on it,
Mm-hmm, me either,
but as long as I'm not fixing the roof
mm-hmm.
and I'm not,
Yeah.
Paying the rent and paying the,
doing
insurance
everything.
and, yeah.
so hopefully whatever happens,
Well,
it's,
that's their goal.
How
yeah.
much time do you think they should be given? What should their lease be?
Well, I just read the whole thing and the lease is being drawn up now, so if I'm lucky enough to get in, I can have some input on
Mhm,
that.
yeah.
Well, I don't have any, I didn't see any of the information, so
Okay.
I don't wanna,
I think they're going 2 or 5 year lease.
Well,
Is
they're
that what
talking
they're
We
talking
two.
talked about 10 initially.
and now it's down to 2 and,
Yeah.
so then you get locked into the lease and
Right,
then you're
yeah.
trying to, in a past life, I maintained the units where I lived in some apartments and once somebody stops paying, it's hard to get them out.
Mm-hmm,
Right.
it is, yeah.
And they're,
Saying
and
it right,
then,
yeah.
then the building starts to decline more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the group seems pretty confident that
Yeah,
they
And
yeah,
you can,
they
so,
manage it.
so.
Yeah.
to-
I think
to
the
an-
key is how long
It's-
is the
it's a-
lease?
People seem to know what they're doing and they're all charged up
Yeah,
about it.
so-
and-
Yeah,
That's why I can't answer that question,
Yeah.
what do I think,
Oh,
because
Yeah,
I'll have to get a contact there,
yeah,
I'll have to get people.
Yeah,
and people,
no,
Talk to
it's a
people,
great
right?
old building.
Oh, it
really
is.
love it, yeah.
you know,
She
so,
won't- she- we're on the opposite ends on a lot
I
of
don't
things.
so what do you
I'm
want?
gonna give him
So,
time,
you
I'm
wanna-
gonna
You wanna
give him
tear,
time.
you're
No,
looking,
I'll give him
you're
some
looking for
time.
used bricks, is that it?
No,
Yeah, she is, really, yeah, she won't say it, but that's what she
no,
likes.
I think they should
Yes.
have a 2 to 5 year lease, I don't know, we'll
Sure.
give them 2 years anyway, they need 2 years.
Sure. And then for
And
Yeah,
one,
I think it'll
so,
be fine.
I guess, like I say,
I'm looking forward
they
to
did a
it.
lot of, there was no, what I saw at the selectmen's meeting, there wasn't a lot of information that we saw, right? So I guess if they have a corner tenant, like that's where the malls all want that corner store.
Right, yeah, the anchor.
A, for foot traffic, and A, to pay most of the cost.
Yeah,
Certainly my daughter-in-law's over in Western Abs in Lowell, it's a private building, she rents a little art studio, it's kind of a neat thing to go to.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Um,
I think it could be nice.
you know, so it could be nice,
Yeah.
will we have that kind of draw here in Pepperell?
Mm.
I don't know, maybe during apple picking and pumpkin, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah.
You
They
know.
seem pretty positive.
You know, I'm for changing, I don't wanna come across as we can't, I'm for change, but it has to be prudent.
Yeah,
And,
has to
we
work.
don't need regulations to
Because-
make the change.
no,
It should be done with a lot of factors involved, right?
mhm,
And instead of you got sold on that this noise thing was gonna definitely stop it, well, I mean, so how do you get any ordinance in? It's either health or safety.
Mhm.
So the light people are gonna tell you, oh, the blue light's bad and it causes this, and this happened in New York City.
yeah,
The blue light is from you ladies on your things.
yeah, the computer, yeah,
That's where the blue light's
Right,
coming
yeah.
from, right? Your cell phone.
Yeah.
So
Are you telling me to stay off my food?
I am not. I am not.
Joe, he's not gonna regulate our.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. No, I'm against regulation, and I warned a long time ago. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell any woman what to do.
Right.
I don't even suggest it. So,
Thank you.
so I don't know. Questions? I mean, did I?
You did
Kill the
great,
buzz?
yeah,
Uh,
you did
I
wonderful.
have-
No other questions, it was
It
excellent.
was excellent, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you, yeah,
I was-
good luck.
This was actually. I mean, I talked freely with a lot of people, but this was. When I got here, it was a little nerve wracking.
Oh,
Well,
You don't
because
have to be nervous.
well, but you want to do a good
Fine.
job.
Yeah,
It's just going
yeah.
out there.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm gonna have a lot of friends watch this and call me to give me grief.
Oh.
Oh, no, it was
Well,
fun.
no, that's just,
Yeah,
that's where
that's
your
the way
friends,
they are.
that's where your friends
Yeah.
are. Oh, and let me make one little thing, the Lions Club that I'm a member of, we're gonna be having our Christmas trees come in
Oh, okay, yeah.
the weekend before Thanksgiving. Kenny Morgan, Karam Construction, he does a great
Yes.
job up there, he
Mhm.
runs this
Good.
thing,
Yep.
and so, and we sell these trees. There's a lot of other great places to sell trees, but our money goes back, the Lions money goes back for scholarships, eye research,
Yeah.
sport teams, we've done a lot of things
Yeah,
with the
Lions
money,
Club is
so,
great.
so all of our money goes back after
Yeah.
expenses, of course.
Mhm. Yeah,
But- And there again, I'm the treasurer there, and I'm a generous guy, but when it comes to the Lions money,
Mhm.
even though I know that you've spent that money, if you don't have a slip,
Mhm.
you're not getting a check until I have the slip. You can ask Rich Douglas that,
That's good.
because he kept coming, I gotta go, Rich, I don't care,
Yeah.
I gotta have that slip.
Good.
And then even after I had him, I made him wait, but that's just another.
Yeah.
The Lions Club group is a good group of guys. We all work hard,
Is that still on?
and we don't pat each other's back.
No.
We raise the money, we give it away, we laugh.
Good.
We
Yeah.
you need a little thick skin maybe at times.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's how guys
Yeah.
are, and we're getting more women in, so
All right,
we're not
let's
going to
say
change our operation. But
Joe Radwich, candidate for
November
selectman.
18th.
thank you.
Christmas trees coming.
Everybody should
Thank
vote.
you. Vote.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
should vote.